Ryan Carter thought he had it all: a thriving business, a loving fiancée, and a little girl who called him dad. But when Jessica vanished days before their wedding, claiming she needed space, Ryan's world began to crack. A single phone call revealed her lie. She wasn't soul-searching in Orlando. She was living it up in Key West with her ex, using Ryan's money. Now, with a child's future at stake, Ryan must decide: fight for love or fight for justice. Ryan Carter's boots crunched against the gravel as he hauled a stack of PVC pipes from his truck to the job site. The Miami sun beat down, but the 38-year-old pool contractor barely noticed. His focus was on the crystal-clear water of the half-finished pool, where 6-year-old Lily splashed, her giggles echoing across the client's backyard. "Dad, watch this," she called, attempting a clumsy dive. Ryan dropped the pipes and clapped, his grin wide enough to rival the Florida horizon. "That's my girl. Keep practicing, and you'll be a mermaid in no time." Lily wasn't his by blood, but for 3 years, Ryan had been the only father she'd known. Her mother, Jessica Torres, 34, had walked into his life when he was installing a pool for a neighbor. One coffee break led to another, and soon Ryan was spending every evening with Jessica and Lily, building a family he never thought he'd have. Jessica, an event planner with a quick wit and a knack for making clients smile, seemed like the perfect partner. Their wedding was set for June 10th, just 2 months away, at a community center overlooking Biscayne Bay. Lily was to be the flower girl, already practicing her pedal-tossing technique. Ryan's business, Carter Pools, had grown from a beat-up pickup to a fleet of trucks over 12 years. He prided himself on reliability, showing up on time, delivering quality. It was how he'd won Jessica's trust, too. When she'd shared how Lily's biological father, Ethan, had bailed when Lily was 2, Ryan didn't hesitate to step up. He'd paid for Lily's daycare, her doctor visits, even her favorite pink sneakers. "You're my hero," Jessica would say, kissing him after Lily's bedtime stories. Those moments made the long days worth it. But on a humid Tuesday evening in April, everything shifted. Ryan was wiping sweat from his brow, double-checking measurements for a client's spa, when Jessica appeared at the job site. Her usual confidence was gone, replaced by a fidgety unease. She twisted her engagement ring, a simple band Ryan had custom-ordered from a jeweler in Coral Gables. "We need to talk," she said, her voice tight. Ryan set down his tape measure, his gut telling him this wasn't about wedding flowers or guest lists. "What's up, Jess?" he asked, keeping his tone steady. She paced a few steps, avoiding his eyes. "The wedding, it's all moving so fast. I'm overwhelmed, Ryan. I need space. Just a few weeks to clear my head." The words hit like a rogue wave. Ryan's first instinct was to argue, but he'd learned to listen first. "Space meaning what?" he asked. "I'm going to visit my friend Carla in Orlando," Jessica said, her words rushed. "Lily can stay with my mom, Maria. It's just 2 weeks, maybe 3. I need to be sure I'm ready for this. Marriage, everything." Ryan's mind raced. Jessica had always been decisive, planning Lily's birthday parties with military precision, nailing work deadlines. This hesitancy didn't fit, but her dark circles and tense shoulders told him she was fraying. "What about Lily?" he asked, his voice low. "She needs you." "She'll be fine with Mom," Jessica replied quickly. "It's better for her to have stability while I sort this out." Ryan pulled her into a hug, feeling her tremble. "If this is what you need, take it," he said. "I love you enough to wait." She nodded against his chest, whispering, "Thank you. This will make us stronger." 3 days later, Jessica packed 2 suitcases, kissed Lily goodbye, and hugged Ryan at their front door. "I'll call soon," she promised, her eyes glistening. Ryan watched her car disappear down the street, an ache settling in his chest. He told himself it was just wedding stress. People needed breaks sometimes, right? That first week, without Jessica dragged, Ryan threw himself into work, juggling 3 pool installations to keep his mind off the silence. Every evening, he picked up Lily from Maria's house in Little Havana. The 6-year-old's questions cut deep. "When's Mama coming back?" Ryan's answer was always the same: "Soon, sweetheart. She just needs a little time." Maria, a sharp-eyed woman in her late 50s, wasn't convinced. "This isn't like Jessica," she said one evening, handing Ryan Lily's backpack. "She doesn't run from problems. Something's wrong." Ryan nodded, the doubt he'd buried clawing its way up. He'd noticed a $4,000 dip in their joint wedding account, money they'd saved for their honeymoon. Jessica had access, but she'd never touched it before. He pushed the thought aside, not ready to face what it might mean. By the second week, the routine was set. Work, Lily, dinner, bedtime stories. But the silence from Jessica gnawed at him. He stared at his phone, tempted to text, but stopped himself. She'd asked for space, and he'd respect that. Still, Maria's words echoed. Something was wrong. On a whim, Ryan searched for Carla, Jessica's supposed friend in Orlando, on social media. A quick call to her office confirmed his worst fear. Jessica? I haven't seen her in years, Carla said, confusion clear in her voice. She's not here. Ryan's heart sank. Jessica had lied. The woman he loved, the mother of the child he'd raised, was somewhere else entirely. He didn't know where, but he knew one thing. He wasn't waiting in the dark anymore. Whatever Jessica was hiding, he'd find it, and he'd protect Lily, no matter the cost. Ryan Carter's world is unraveling. His fiancée, Jessica, lied about needing space in Orlando, and now she's vanished with $4,000 from their wedding fund. As he cares for her daughter, Lily, a chilling truth emerges. Jessica's not soul-searching. She's in Key West with her ex, Ethan, Lily's deadbeat dad. Armed with a private investigator's photos, Ryan faces a choice. Confront the betrayal or protect the little girl who calls him dad. The stakes just got higher. Ryan hung up the phone, his hand trembling. Carla's words echoed. Jessica wasn't in Orlando. The lie was a blade, sharp and deliberate, cutting through 3 years of trust. He sat in his truck outside Maria's house, Lily's backpack on the passenger seat. The Miami dusk settled around him, but his mind was racing. Where was Jessica? And why take $4,000 from their joint account? He needed answers, not guesses. That night, after tucking Lily into bed with a story about pirate treasure, Ryan made a call he never thought he'd need. Jake Morales, a private investigator recommended by a client, answered on the second ring. I need you to find someone, Ryan said, voice low to keep from waking Lily. My fiancée. She's not where she said she'd be. Got a name and last known location? Jake asked, all business. Jessica Torres, supposedly in Orlando, but her friend says she's not there, and she withdrew $4,000 from our account last week. Jake whistled softly. Give me 48 hours. I'll call you. Ryan spent the next 2 days in a haze, pouring concrete for a client's pool by day and playing board games with Lily by night. Her laughter kept him grounded, but Maria's sharp gaze at every pickup told him she sensed the storm brewing. Anything from Jessica? She asked on the second evening, handing him Lily's drawings of a pool with a slide. Nothing yet, Ryan said, forcing a smile. He didn't mention the call to Carla or the missing money. Maria deserved the truth, but he needed facts first. Jake's call came at 6 p.m. the next day, as Ryan was loading his tools. Found her, Jake said, his tone heavy. Jessica's in Key West, checked into the Ocean Reef Resort. She's not alone. Guy named Ethan Shepard's with her, registered as a couple. I'm emailing you photos now. Ryan's stomach dropped. Ethan Shepard, Lily's biological father, the man Jessica said had walked out 4 years ago, claiming he wasn't ready for a kid. Ryan opened the email on his phone, and the images hit like punches. Jessica and Ethan walking hand in hand on the beach, her head thrown back in laughter. Ethan carrying her through shallow waves. The two of them sharing a drink at a tiki bar, her engagement ring glinting under the sun. The timestamp showed they'd checked in 3 days after Jessica left Miami. There's more, Jake said. That $4,000? Traced it to their resort charges, room, meals, excursions. She used your wedding fund. Ryan gripped the phone, his knuckles white. You're sure it's them? Positive. I cross-checked Ethan's ID. He's got a record. Skipped out on child support for a kid in Georgia. Wanting to keep digging? Yeah, Ryan said. Find out everything you can about Ethan. And Jessica's job. Something feels off there too. He hung up and stared at the photos, each one a fresh betrayal. Jessica hadn't needed space to think. She'd run off with her ex, using Ryan's money to play house while he was raising her daughter. The woman he'd planned to marry in 6 weeks had lied to his face, leaving Lily with her grandmother like an afterthought. Ryan drove to Maria's, his mind churning. He couldn't tell her yet, not until he had a plan. Lily ran to him at the door, holding up a new drawing. Look, Dad, it's our pool. Ryan hugged her tight, her small arms anchoring him. It's perfect, kiddo, he said, his voice steady despite the rage simmering inside. The next morning, Ryan met his lawyer, Amanda Ruiz, at her downtown office. She listened as he laid out the story. Jessica's lie, the stolen money, Ethan's return. Amanda's eyes narrowed at the photos. This is abandonment, Ryan, and theft. You've been Lily's primary caregiver for years. We can use this. For what? Ryan asked, leaning forward. Emergency custody, Amanda said. Jessica left Lily for weeks, no contact, while running off with an unreliable ex-courts prioritized stability for the child. You're it. Ryan hesitated. I'm not her biological dad. Will that hurt us? Not if we show you the one showing up. You've paid for Lily's expenses, been there for her daily. Jessica's actions scream neglect. We'll need bank records, witness statements. Maria will back you, right? Ryan nodded. She's worried sick. She knows something's wrong. Good. I'll start the paperwork. Give me those financials and any texts or calls from Jessica. Every detail helps. Jake's next call came that evening, as Ryan grilled chicken for Lily. Got something on Jessica's job, Jake said. She was fired 2 weeks before she left. Used her work computer to book that Key West trip, emails, plane tickets, all of it. Her boss caught her and cut her loose. Ryan set the tongs down, the pieces clicking into place. Jessica hadn't just lied about Orlando. She'd hidden her job loss, stolen their savings, and fled to Ethan. What about him? Ryan asked. Ethan's a mess. Owes $25,000 in child support for a son in Georgia. Bounced between jobs, no stability. Word is he's been reaching out to Jessica for months, playing the changed man card. Ryan thanked Jake and hung up, his decision made. He canceled the wedding that night. Venue, caterer, florist, all of it. The vendor calls were brutal, but not as brutal as the truth. Jessica wasn't coming back to marry him. She was rebuilding a past that didn't include him or Lily. As he tucked Lily into bed, she asked, Is Mama okay? Ryan smoothed her hair, forcing a smile. She's figuring things out, sweetheart. But you've got me, always. Lily nodded, clutching her stuffed dolphin, and Ryan knew he'd do whatever it took to keep her safe. Jessica's betrayal had lit a fire, and Ryan was ready to fight. Not for revenge, but for the little girl who called him dad. Ryan Carter's trust is shattered. His fiancée, Jessica, didn't just lie. She stole $4,000 and ran to Key West with her ex, Ethan, leaving their daughter, Lily, behind. Now, armed with proof of her betrayal, Ryan's fighting for custody to protect Lily. But when Jessica returns, begging to come home, a new bombshell drops. Ethan wants Lily too. Caught in a web of lies, Ryan faces his toughest battle yet. Will he lose the girl he calls his daughter, or will justice prevail? Ryan's phone buzzed on the dashboard as he drove to pick up Lily from Maria's house. Jessica's name flashed on the screen, the first contact in 3 weeks. His jaw tightened. He'd spent days digesting the private investigator's report. Jessica, unemployed, living it up in Key West with Ethan, Lily's deadbeat biological father, on money stolen from their wedding fund. Ryan let the call go to voicemail, not trusting himself to stay calm. He'd canceled the wedding, venue, caterer, everything, after learning the truth. Now he was focused on one thing, keeping Lily safe. Lily ran to him at Maria's doorstep, her backpack bouncing. Dad, can we get ice cream? She asked, her smile bright. Ryan's heart ached. She didn't know her mother had abandoned her. Sure thing, kiddo, he said, ruffling her hair. Maria lingered in the doorway, her eyes searching. Any word from her? She asked. She just called, Ryan admitted. Didn't answer yet. Maria's lips pressed into a thin line. Be careful, Ryan. She's my daughter, but Lily's my priority. Back home, Ryan played Jessica's voicemail after Lily was asleep. Her voice trembled. Ryan, I messed up. I thought Ethan had changed, but I was wrong. Please, let's talk. I want to come home, for Lily, for us. The words sounded desperate, but Ryan wasn't buying it. She'd lied about Orlando, stolen $4,000, and left Lily without a word. Home wasn't hers to claim anymore. The next morning, Ryan met his lawyer, Amanda Ruiz, at her office. He handed over bank records showing the $4,000 withdrawal and the PI's photos of Jessica and Ethan. Amanda scanned them, nodding. This strengthens our case for emergency custody, she said. Jessica's abandonment and theft, plus Ethan's history of dodging child support, make you the stable parent. But we need to move fast. Why the rush? Ryan asked, leaning forward. Amanda slid a document across the desk. Ethan filed for custody yesterday. claims he's ready to be a father now, with a job in Atlanta. He's painting Jessica as unfit and you as a meddling ex with no legal standing. Ryan's blood ran cold. Ethan, who'd walked out on Lily at 2, who owed $25,000 for another kid, was trying to take her. He doesn't even know her, Ryan said, voice low. He's using her to get back at Jessica, or me. Probably both, Amanda said. But we've got leverage. Jessica's job loss, she was fired for planning that trip on company time, shows a pattern of bad decisions. Your financial support for Lily, Maria's testimony, and Ethan's track record will weigh heavily. I'm filing today. Ryan nodded, his resolve hardening. Do it. Lily stays with me. That evening, Jessica showed up at his doorstep unannounced, her car parked crookedly in the driveway. Ryan opened the door but blocked the entrance, keeping Lily out of earshot. What do you want, Jessica? Her eyes were red, her voice shaky. I'm sorry, Ryan. Ethan convinced me we could be a family for Lily. I was stupid. He bailed when things got real. Please, let me come back. Ryan crossed his arms. You lied about Orlando. You stole $4,000 for your little getaway. You left Lily for 3 weeks. And now Ethan's filing for custody. You expect me to just forget that? Jessica's face paled. Custody? He can't. He walked away. He didn't terminate his rights, Ryan said, pulling out his phone to show her the PI's photos. You two look pretty cozy in Key West. Used our wedding money to pay for it, too. She stumbled back, gripping the railing. I didn't mean for this to happen. I thought I was doing right by Lily, giving her a chance with her real dad. Real dad? Ryan's voice rose, then softened as he remembered Lillian sighed. I've been her dad for 3 years. I paid for her school, her doctor, her life. You don't get to waltz back in after running off with him. Jessica's voice broke. I lost my job, Ryan. I was scared, confused. Ethan said he'd changed, that he'd step up. But he's the same coward. I want to fix this. Us, our family. Ryan shook his head, his anger giving way to clarity. There's no us anymore. I canceled the wedding, and I filed for custody today. Lily deserves better than being a pawn in your mess. You can't take her, Jessica cried, stepping forward. You're not her father. I'm the one she calls dad, Ryan said, his voice steady. And I'm the one who's here. You made your choice in Key West. Now you deal with it. He closed the door, heart pounding. Inside, Lily was coloring at the kitchen table, humming softly. Ryan sat beside her, forcing a smile. What's that, kiddo? It's us, she said, pointing to 2 stick figures by a pool. You and me, Dad. Ryan's throat tightened. He'd fight Ethan, Jessica, and anyone else to keep that drawing real. The next day, Amanda called with an update. The court had scheduled a hearing in 3 weeks. Ethan's pushing hard, she said. Claims he's stable now. But his past is a gold mine for us. 2 kids he's abandoned, unpaid support. We've got this, Ryan. As he hung up, Ryan glanced at Lily, playing in the yard. Jessica's betrayal had shattered his trust, but Ethan's sudden claim on Lily lit a new fire. This wasn't just about protecting Lily from her mother's lies. It was about stopping a man who'd already failed her once. Ryan wasn't her biological father, but he was her dad in every way that mattered. And he'd go to war to prove it. Ryan Carter's fight for Lily reaches a boiling point. Jessica's betrayal, stealing $4,000 for a Key West fling with her ex, Ethan, has Ryan seeking custody to protect the girl he calls daughter. But Ethan's custody claim threatens to tear Lily away. As the courtroom looms, Jessica begs for forgiveness, and secrets unravel. Will Ryan's evidence expose her lies, or will Ethan's manipulation win? The battle for Lily's future is about to explode. Ryan sat in his truck outside the Miami-Dade courthouse, gripping the steering wheel. The hearing was hours away, and the weight of it pressed on his chest. Jessica's lies, her Key West getaway with Ethan, funded by $4,000 stolen from their wedding account, had pushed Ryan to file for emergency custody of Lily, the 6-year-old he'd raised for 3 years. Ethan's sudden bid for custody, claiming he was now a changed father with a job in Atlanta, had raised the stakes. Ryan wasn't just fighting Jessica's betrayal. He was fighting to keep Lily from a man who'd abandoned her at 2. His lawyer, Amanda Ruiz, had prepped him relentlessly. They had bank records, private investigator photos, and proof Jessica was fired for misusing company resources to plan her trip. Maria, Jessica's mother, had agreed to testify about Ryan's role as Lily's steady caregiver. But Ethan's claim worried Ryan. He had no legal tie to Lily, only love and consistency. Would that be enough? Jessica's calls had become relentless since she returned to Miami, each one a plea to fix things. Ryan ignored them, focusing on Lily. Last night, she'd crawled into his lap during a thunderstorm, asking, "Is Mama mad at me?" Ryan hugged her tight. "No, sweetheart. Grown-ups make mistakes, but you're perfect." He didn't tell her about the court date. She deserved one more day of being a kid. At 8 a.m., Ryan met Amanda outside the courtroom. She handed him a folder. "More dirt on Ethan," she said. "He's got a second kid in Alabama he hasn't seen in 4 years. Owes $30,000 in back child support. His stable job in Atlanta? A 3-month gig at a car dealership. He's all talk." Ryan nodded, his jaw tight. "And Jessica?" Her lawyer will push the confused mom angle. Say she was trying to reconnect Lily with her dad. But her job loss and theft from your account kill her credibility. Maria's testimony will seal it. Inside, the courtroom buzzed with tension. Jessica sat across the aisle, her hands twisting in her lap. Ethan was there too, in a cheap suit, smirking like he'd already won. Ryan's stomach churned, but he kept his eyes on the judge's bench. Judge Carla Hernandez, a veteran of family court, entered with a no-nonsense air. Jessica's lawyer went first, painting her as a mother overwhelmed by wedding stress, seeking to heal old wounds, with Ethan for Lily's sake. "Ms. Torres made a mistake," he said, "but she's committed to her daughter. Mr. Carter, with no biological tie, is using this to punish her." Amanda stood, her voice sharp. "Your Honor, Jessica Torres abandoned her daughter for 3 weeks, lied about her whereabouts, and stole $4,000 from a joint account to fund a vacation with Ethan Shepard, a man with a history of abandoning children. Ryan Carter has been Lily's primary caregiver, paying for her expenses and providing stability. Ms. Torres was also terminated from her job for misusing resources, further proving her irresponsibility." The judge's eyes narrowed as Amanda presented the evidence. Bank statements, PI photos, Jessica's termination letter. Ryan's heart pounded as Maria took the stand. "Ryan's been Lily's father in every way," she said, voice breaking. "When Jessica left, Lily asked for him every night, not her mother or Ethan. He's the one who shows up." Ethan's lawyer tried to pivot, claiming Ethan's new job showed his commitment. But Amanda was ready. "Mr. Shepard owes $30,000 in child support for 2 children he's abandoned. His job is temporary, and he has no relationship with Lily. He's not here for her. He's here to manipulate." Judge Hernandez called a recess, leaving Ryan staring at Jessica across the aisle. She mouthed, "I'm sorry," but he looked away. Her apologies couldn't undo the weeks Lily spent wondering where her mother was. When court resumed, Jessica took the stand, her voice shaky. "I thought Ethan could be a father to Lily," she said. "I was wrong. I want to make it right." The judge leaned forward. "Ms. Torres, you left your daughter with your mother, lied to Mr. Carter, and used shared funds for a personal trip. How does that prioritize your child?" Jessica faltered. "I was confused. I thought I was doing what was best." By leaving her for 3 weeks with no contact, the judge pressed. Jessica had no answer. The ruling came swiftly. "Temporary custody to Mr. Carter," Judge Hernandez said. "Ms. Torres is ordered to complete parenting classes and secure stable employment. Supervised visitation only. Mr. Shepard's petition is dismissed due to his documented history of neglect." Jessica gasped, her hand covering her mouth. Ethan stormed out, muttering curses. Ryan exhaled, relief flooding him. Outside, Jessica approached, tears streaming. "You're taking her from me," she said. "I'm protecting her," Ryan replied. "You chose Ethan over her. I'm choosing her." Back home, Ryan tucked Lily into bed, reading her favorite book about a brave mermaid. "Dad, are you going away like Mama?" she asked, her eyes wide. "Never," Ryan said, kissing her forehead. "You're stuck with me." As she drifted off, Ryan knew the fight wasn't over. Jessica's supervised visits and Ethan's volatility loomed, but for now, Lily was safe. That was enough. Ryan Carter won temporary custody of Lily, the girl he calls daughter, after Jessica's betrayal and Ethan's failed custody grab. But stability comes at a cost. Jessica's supervised visits reveal a fractured bond, and Ethan's absence leaves scars. 2 years later, Ryan's built a new life for Lily. But can he heal her heart? As adoption papers loom, Will love triumph over loss, or will the past haunt them forever? Ryan stood in the backyard of his Miami home, watching Lily cannonball into the pool he'd built last summer. Her laughter echoed as she surfaced, waving. "Dad, time me!" she shouted, climbing out for another jump. At 8, Lily was fearless, her stroke strong from weekly swim lessons. Ryan clicked the stopwatch, grinning. Go for it, champ. This was their life now. Pool days, school projects, and bedtime stories. A rhythm carved from chaos. 2 years had passed since the courthouse showdown. The judge's ruling had given Ryan temporary custody, with Jessica ordered to complete parenting classes and find stable work for supervised visitation. Ethan's custody bid collapsed under his history of abandoning kids, and he'd vanished from Miami, leaving behind unpaid debts and broken promises. Ryan had hoped the victory would bring peace, but the fallout lingered. Jessica's supervised visits, held at a community center, were tense. Lily, once clingy with her mother, now sat quietly, answering questions with polite nods. "Do you want to draw with me?" Jessica asked during one visit, sliding crayons across the table. Lily shrugged, sketching a pool instead of engaging. Ryan watched from the sidelines, his heart heavy. He didn't want Lily to lose her mother, but Jessica's choices, 3 weeks in Key West with Ethan, funded by $4,000 stolen from their wedding account, had severed something vital. The bond wasn't his to fix. Ryan's lawyer, Amanda Ruiz, pushed for permanence. Jessica's completed her classes and got a job at a hotel, Amanda said during a call 6 months after the hearing. But her visits show no real connection. Lily's thriving with you. We can petition for adoption if Jessica relinquishes her rights. Ryan hesitated. Adoption meant cutting Jessica out for good, a step that felt final. But Lily's nightmares about Mama leaving had faded in his care. She called him Dad now, no Daddy Ryan prefix. "What's the process?" he asked. "We offer Jessica a deal," Amanda said. "She terminates her rights, and you drop the theft charges for the $4,000. It's practical. She can't afford a legal fight, and Lily needs stability." The meeting with Jessica was brief, held at Amanda's office. Jessica's eyes were hollow as she signed the papers. "I'm not a bad mother," she said, voice cracking. "I just made mistakes." "I know," Ryan said, softer than he meant. "But Lily can't wait for you to figure it out." Jessica left without another word, her signature freeing Lily for adoption. The adoption was finalized on a sunny March morning, a year after the hearing. Lily, clutching Ryan's hand in the courtroom, beamed when the judge declared her his daughter. "Forever?" she asked. "Forever," Ryan promised. Maria, Lily's grandmother, hugged them both, tears streaming. "You're a father, Ryan. Always were." Now, 2 years post-courthouse, life had settled. Ryan's business, Carter Pools, thrived with contract for luxury homes across Miami. Lily excelled in 3rd grade, her report cards pinned proudly on the fridge. Maria remained a constant, taking Lily for weekend sleepovers filled with baking and storytelling. Ryan's parents, initially skeptical of his custody fight, now doted on their granddaughter, building her a tree fort and cheering at her swim meets. Jessica sent birthday cards, each with a short note and a new address, Jacksonville, then Orlando. Lily read them, then tucked them into a shoebox. "Do you want to write back?" Ryan asked once. Lily shook her head. "She's not my mom like you're my dad." The words stung and healed at once. Ryan started dating again, cautiously. Elena, a local librarian, entered their lives slowly, joining them for ice cream runs or library story hours. She understood Lily came first, never pushing for more than the girl was ready to give. "She's amazing," Elena said one evening, watching Lily read to a group of kids. Ryan nodded, grateful for someone who saw Lily's light. One afternoon, as Ryan and Lily planted marigolds by the pool, she asked, "Dad, why did Mama leave?" The question, less frequent now, still carried weight. Ryan set down his trowel. "Sometimes people make choices that hurt others, even if they don't mean to. Your mom thought she needed something else, but that wasn't about you. You're enough just as you are." Lily nodded, digging a hole. "You stayed." "Always will," Ryan said, pulling her into a hug. Her small arms squeezed back, and he felt the truth settle. Love wasn't biology. It was showing up every day, no matter what. Reflecting that night, Ryan realized he didn't hate Jessica anymore. Her betrayal, lying about Orlando, stealing their savings, chasing Ethan, had nearly broken him. But it led to this, A life where Lily called him dad, where laughter filled their home. Ethan's absence and Jessica's choices had consequences, but Ryan's choice to fight for Lily had built something stronger. He wasn't a hero, just a man who kept his promises. And for Lily, that was everything.